Designated villain of tonight's ball game. He's an 83% foul shooter and last year's College Player of the Year. Maybe no one here went to Duke. Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe it's just the fact that it's the 81st game and the fans are just going, oh.
Harper back to Terry Davis, who obviously not all that hurt, able to continue. Ball tapped out, and Brad Sellers will chase it down. Minnesota with a basket can get to within one.
Sellers prefers to be outside with a basketball.
Chuck Person off a pick, comes up empty again. Person shooting only 44% on the season. That compares to a 48% shooting year last year in Indiana with the Pacers. 16 seconds on the shot clock for Dallas. Terry Davis still rubbing his forehead like he's still in some discomfort. Jackson against Sellers into the basket. Jim Jackson having his way early. That's a 6-point start. In fact, Jackson and Derek Harper have 10 of Dallas's first 14. Leitner tapped out to Person. And Chuck Person finally gets on the board and keeps Minnesota within 3. He had 22 last night on 10 of 24 shooting.
He will keep shooting even if he's not hitting. You can count on that.
Jackson against Brad Sellers, who is anything but a guard. They did both go to the same college at Ohio State, and that's about the only similarities. Here's Sean Rooks. In for Sean Rooks, his second basket. And the Mavericks again have the 5-point advantage.
I like the deliberateness of the fake and the explosion and quickness of the move to the bucket.
And Michael Williams on the penetration gets it right back, and he's off to a 5-point start.
Got to keep Michael Williams in front of you. You cannot let him turn the corner. He is too effective.
Sellers is a 7-footer, but he is not a guard. Brian Howard turns it over. Here's Williams in transition, 2-on-1. Now 3-on-1 as Leitner, the trailer, finishes strong, and the Timberwolves are within 1.
They can boo him all they want. He's a pretty good player.
I'd say he's an excellent player.
Whether you like him or not.
18 points, 9 rebounds a game as a first-year player. The third pick in last summer's draft, taken just ahead of Jim Jackson, who will shoot it over Leitner. And Jim Jackson now has 8.
Leitner knew that he couldn't go out and get Jackson. Jackson would have put it on the floor and been able to create an opportunity.
Person from the corner. Now both teams starting to warm up. Jim Jackson's 3 out of 6. Brian Howard better make that shot because there was nobody close to being in position to get an offensive rebound for the Mavericks. Howard's got 4. Brad Sellers with it. Back to Person, will put up the 3 over Jackson. Offensive rebound of the little guy, Michael Williams. Terry Davis with this rebound. Outlet to Harper, who will take it to the hole. No, they call a charge on Derek Harper. That's his second. And the Mavericks get caught with a turnover.
Michael Williams doing an awfully nice job of maintaining that position. Here comes Harper right at you. You see Williams gets in front.
Boy, he may have got there a little late.
Yeah, he did look like Harper was headed up into the air. Williams did get there, but that's one of those bang calls.
And once again, those officials do not have the ability to see the slow motion replay that you and I so desperately need to see. Williams from the rebounding is even at 8. Sean Rooks got the contact.
Foul by Christian Leitner.
It's on Leitner, his first, and the 5th on the Timberwolves. So this puts Dallas into the penalty with 4:09 to go in the first quarter. And I'm still trying to figure out this Brad Sellers on Jim Jackson matchup. The thing I possibly think of is that they know each other and have played together in Columbus during the offseason. And maybe Sellers went to Sidney Lowe and said, you know, I've played against Jim enough that if Blanks gets in any trouble, I'll take him.
I think it has something to do with size, too. I think Sidney Lowe may feel that some additional size on Jackson might hurt him just a little bit.
Marlon Maxey is on for the first time tonight for the Timberwolves, the rookie out of UTEP.
The Doug West-Jim Jackson matchup would have been a very good one, a very interesting one. But as we mentioned, Doug West suspended today by the NBA for 1 game.
For shoving the old official last night. Sean Rooks makes them both. He leads the Mavericks in going to the line over 5 times a game. Person gives it up to Leitner. Will put it on the floor. In with the left hand. Nope. Maxey goes right to work on the offensive glass, and he's fouled.
Foul by Brian
And this will allow Donald Hodge to check in for Sean Rooks. Brian Howard picks up the foul. It's a 4th team foul against Dallas.
Compliments of McDonald's.
Maxey at the free throw line out of UTEP. He led UTEP in scoring 3 straight years. He did play his freshman year at the University of Minnesota and then transferred to UTEP, played out a year.
For the Mavericks.
Maxey's been in double figures 5 of the last 7 games. During that stretch, averaging 10 points and 71% shooting. Wiley replaces Derek Harper in the Mavericks backcourt. Boy, these Timberwolves, they have struggled. They've got 15 losses this year by 20 points or more. They've been held under 90 themselves on 15 different occasions. They come into tonight's game having been out rebounded 9 straight games. These are not numbers that are going to get you many wins, folks. Wiley trapped momentarily. Now here's Brian Howard to Hodge. To Jackson coming to the ball. Continuing to operate against Sellers. Shot clock down to 2, but it doesn't matter. Jim Jackson's pass goes out of bounds.
Not a good half-court sequence that time by the Mavericks. Shot clock ran down on them. They end up with a little bit of an unforced turnover.
By the way, Thurl Bailey is another Timberwolf who will not go tonight. He's had a bruised heel, and he is not in uniform for the Minnesota team. Person waits for Hodge to commit. And the foul is on Donald Hodge, and now both teams in the penalty.
15 foul, Minnesota.
Wiley to Legler. Posting up Chris Smith. Should be an opportunity for Legler, who takes advantage of it. Mavericks continue to shoot the ball extremely well. 60% now on 16 of 26.
The only bad thing about that is they're shooting 60%. They only have an 8-point lead.
Chris Smith drops it off to Leitner with the left hand. He's got 8.
It's simply a question of Leitner going to the basket, following the ball when it went to the basket.
And again, the Mavericks trying to get into Legler. Chris Smith with the foul.
Mavericks do a lot of posting their guards. They post Jim Jackson a lot. They will post Legler a lot inside because they try to get Legler and Jackson to the free throw line. They're good free throw shooters.
6:56 to go in the half. Mavericks stop play with a 6-point lead over the Timberwolves. It's the first quarter. When he had a dozen, it gets him to 14, and the Mavericks stretching it out again, have an 8-point lead.
Jackson really hollering at the other end of the floor defensively, talking to his teammates.
Leitner with a quiet game tonight. Here's Leitner down the lane where he's fouled.
You know, Leitner plays the game with very good temperament, Alan. He very seldom displays any kind of emotion at all. He does not seem to be intimidated at all. He wasn't intimidated playing with the gold medal Olympic team last summer. He had to learn an awful lot from that.
And you wonder how he is handling all the losing. This is a consummate winner in college. Only player in NCAA history to start in 4 Final Fours. And here in his first NBA campaign, he has been saddled with at least 62 losses and only 18 victories. Those 2 free throws get Christian Leitner double figures. And Minnesota's back to within 6.
He could have played at Duke for 15 years. They wouldn't have had 62 losses.
Good point, and a valid point. Jackson got the reach. 3-point opportunity for Jim Jackson, and Lance Blanks with a forgettable game as 5 fouls to go with 4 points. And the Mavericks have the penalty the rest of the way here in the third.
Jackson right here. You can see that Lance Blanks is trying to force Jackson to his left hand. He goes up, and the foul is committed.
Chris Smith back in the game.
And with no Doug West, who was suspended, and Lance Blanks his replacement with 5 fouls, Chris Smith will roll in off the Minnesota bench. Smith played 10 minutes of the first half, had 4 points.
Yeah, and his playing time in the first half was at the point guard position. Now he comes back at the shooting guard position. He will be more comfortable there because Michael Williams will be able to take care of the ball against any kind of pressure.
Jackson 5 for 5 from the line, and a Maverick high 17 points.
That's nice defense by Derek Harper. That's a good job against Michael Williams.
Forces Williams to the outside shot, which is not close, but the ball bounces right for the Timberwolves. Here's Leitner. Minnesota 2 rebounds better than the Mavericks at 29-27. Leitner. Derek Harper's got it for Dallas, ahead to Jim Jackson. 2 more for Jackson. And the Mavericks lead is pushed into double figures again. It's the Mavericks by 11.
Once again, you see Jackson going to the hole. Very effective. He does outstretch that arm when he goes up, and he handles the ball extremely well.
Leitner banging on Terry Davis. And TD called for the foul here, his 3rd. And the Mavericks only one team foul again, away from putting the Timberwolves in the bonus.
Well, the Maverick bench really reacted to that. Terry Davis is still standing down there with his arm straight up in the air saying, wait a minute, I'm entitled to my space, and he is.
Leitner with his degree in sociology and his number retired at Duke University last summer.
Yeah, but Mike Krzyzewski would not retire it, would not hang it up until he completed his work for his degree and received it. That tells you a little bit about the philosophy that Krzyzewski has at Duke.
Chuck Person is on for Michael Williams. Leitner is 12th in the entire league in free throws attempted this season. That is not easy to do when you're a first-year player, and he's been in line 6 times tonight, and those 2 free throws draw the Timberwolves to within 9.
That's good move. Good move by Jim Jackson to get open.
Against Brad Sellers. Illegal defense called against Minnesota. Felton Spencer will sub back in for the T-Wolves, replacing Leitner.
Felton Spencer back in the game.
First time the illegal D's been called tonight. And Michael Williams has now got his consecutive free throws made streak up to 70 as Jim Jackson with the answer. Game high 24 points for the 4th pick in last summer's draft out of Ohio State. And that snaps an 8-0 run by the Timberwolves.
No, pass was way late.
Leitner going to the basket unencumbered.
Christian Leitner came out off the pick. He was wide open. The ball needs to be delivered immediately. That ball was passed too late. Leitner still was able to do something with it.
First basket of the second half for Christian Leitner gets him to 14. Wiley to Legler for 3. Wiley with the offensive rebound to Hodge. And the foul called on Minnesota. After Terry Davis gets the offensive board, Derek Harper replaces Moreland Wiley for the Mavericks.
In the rebounding department, how many for Terry Davis to this
10.
point in the game? Double figures once again.
TD, the Mavericks' leading rebound on the season. 26 double-doubles. There's Jackson. Person's on him.
Just plain straight isolation. No man to set the pick. They're just going to let Jackson work. There he goes.
Rejected inside by Bob McCann. Michael Williams at midcourt.
That ball was not going in, but it would have hit something. I thought that was goaltending.
Legler with the fine defense. Blank somehow finds Michael Williams. Person wants it out in three-point country.
Look out.
Bombs away, but he's real short. Mavericks by 7 still with 7:20 to go in the game. Here's Jim Jackson. Lost his footing. Michael Williams has it again. Williams fouled by Derek Harper. That's the 4th team foul on the Mavericks here in the period.
Now by Donald.
No, they catch Hodge for the foul. Okay.
Team foul.
Williams, well, he's done everything for Minnesota tonight with Person and Leitner, neither one having a big offensive game. Leitner got in and converts. Leitner brings the Timberwolves to within 5 as we're under 7 minutes to go in the game. Dallas had a 15-point lead not very long ago. Harper back to Jackson down the lane. Mavericks need a basket. They get it to Jackson. 29 Wednesday night, 26 so far this evening.
Jackson getting all the big baskets. He's had a couple big buckets in go-to situations. You're going to see a lot of that in the next 10 years out of that guy.
When you're already seeing the passing of the guard in that respect this year, it used to be all Derek Harper when the Mavericks had to have a hoop. Not anymore.
Harper did a nice job that time getting him the ball.
Shot clock winding down. Minnesota's not going to get a shot off. 24-second shot clock violation against the Timberwolves. Dallas will stop play with 6:06 to go in the contest. Pretense what they want to do. They give you a chance to get up there and deny passes, double team.
Harper just backed off when his man went on through, came on back ball side, went for the steal.
Leitner from the outside. He's got 6 in the quarter, 18 in the game, and Minnesota's within 5.
Leitner's been in situations like this before and thrived.
Yep. Harper out front. Derek has only 7 points tonight. Williams reaches in with a steal. Michael Williams in the top 10 in the league in thefts. McCann loses it. Ahead to Derek Harper. Oh, the circus basket nearly fell for the Harp. Chuck Person guilty of his 4th.
Person thought he committed the foul out on the floor before the shot. Person really going after the ball. Good hustle by Harper, who I think may be a little bit slower than he used to be, but I think there's a reason for that. I don't think he's healthy. I don't think he's lost a step when he's healthy, but right now I think he has lost just a little bit of that speed and quickness, but he sure hustled after that one and got it, and it was big.
Derek 2 out of 2 from the foul line tonight. Derek 2 out of 7 from the field with 4 assists. Boy, Michael Williams with the great steal. The only mistake he made was getting it to Bob McCann up the floor. By the way, Williams has got 5 steals in the game tonight.
You saw the first steal. There was the second steal. We just missed it.
Dallas by 6. Just under 5 minutes to go in the game. Michael Williams turns the corner. Missed the layup. Tipped in by McCann, I believe. Minnesota's within 4. Legler at the other end is fouled.
Foul by Bob McCann.
Team fouls are even at 4. Both teams 1 shy of sending their opposition into the penalty. And this one's
a ball game now.
It is tight.
Mavericks had a 13-point lead in the first half, a 15-point lead in the second half. Now they have a 4-point lead, but they got a nice free throw shooter at the line.
Legler 2 out of 3 tonight, 82% on the season.
Ouch.
Oops.
I'm not saying anything. You go ahead.
Legler to build it to 5. How's that for a safer
That's good.
mark?
That's good.
11-point night working for Timmy Legler. Michael Williams. Again, will drive inside against Rooks. Another wild shot. Mavericks end up with it. Here's Harper. Minnesota's attempted only 1 free throw here in the 4th quarter. Michael Williams stating that case while laying on his backside at the other end. Here's Harper. Sean Rooks with the offensive board. McCann reaches in, but Dallas will retain possession as McCann stepped out of bounds. Brian Howard